So how is the world of the technician changing? Well, interestingly enough, the technician in their own right are becoming instrumented, right? When you think about the individual on the shop floor, they can have sensors on. We can know what their heart rate is. We can know where their position is. We can ensure that they're not, moving outside, safety zones and stuff like that. There's a variety of things you can do by effectively instrumenting the human with biometric information and all. You can augment the human. We've all seen the examples of AR glasses, right? As they stare at a piece of equipment, and that equipment they're looking at is now being effectively annotated, right? These present key opportunities, but there are some very interesting fundamental business dynamics that also have to shape how we look at where do we go first here. The ongoing changing demographics of the workforce is probably the biggest one. We are losing knowledge, right? We are losing knowledge. You have all been around the shop floor where the individual has been on the floor for 25 years, and just by walking past the machine, they know something's going to happen. How do you convey that kind of information, right? That is, their mind has processed numerous signals and data over an extensive amount of time to create that intuition. If you think about it, what is machine learning? Machine learning is trying to teach computers to intuit out of vast amounts of data. That's all we're doing. We're trying to create models that approximate, dare I say poorly, what we actually all do very naturally as humans. The only difference is we're trying to compress it over time. And you do not have enough 25 years to train that next technician. So this becomes an important dimension of thinking about how are you going to support, right, the technician on the workforce. And there are three kind of scenarios I'd like to kind of play around with. My favorite is really around knowledge expertise assistance. Think about the maintenance technician walking around with their iPad or whatever mobile device, right, to do their work order. You can provide a lot much more richer information because you already have information about the states of the machines. You can train AI with all the user manuals and failure codes so that they can provide useful guided assistance to the individual, particularly when they're new on the job. You can link this with peer-to-peer collaboration technologies, particularly when you're dealing with field service workers, whereby they can connect back to the home office and be guided by more experienced technicians who can see what they're seeing, right? These are key scenarios that we look to enable as we think about how we're leveraging AI and this connected world to help the technician. The other side is around safety. You can, one, know where they are. So if you think about your manufacturing shop floor, it's very easy with today's technologies to map out what the safe lanes are and to detect if somebody has stepped out of a safe lane. You actually can do, and I've seen this done actually in practice, and it's not too difficult at scale. If the worker is carrying what I would call instrumented equipment, think about it like a power drill, you can disable a drill so that it doesn't work once they're away from the workstation where that drill is meant to be used. Once again, these provide ways to think about safety. Now, when I talk about safety and leveraging that kind of information in the context of humans, there is no question that the next point that comes to mind is, wait, are we trying to, what I call the big brother syndrome, right? Are you trying to know whether I'm working or not, right? Is this a safety initiative or a productivity initiative? These are real questions, right? Real questions that have to be explored and understood when you think about deploying any technology. But with an informed workforce and with appropriate consent on all sides and appropriate management of that data and that information, right? You can actually drive very useful value to the individual, either bringing up newer people into the workforce much more quickly, or essentially creating a much safer profile for workers as they operate within that domain.